Okay, here's another one. How much money you can owe the Golden State fans for a broken ticket? Ray owes $1. It's funny because Ray owes $1. It's like some dude from the player who is the name named Ray Owes, but it's funny they used the last name named Owes because it owes like a money, like Ray owes money, like Ray owes $5, Ray owes $10, Ray owes $100 or more. It's funny to me when they got it all the cash when they had to earn it from the check, you know. If you're earning from the check from all those choking steak versus fish, you know, Rayos $200 or $1,000. If you're part of your Golden State Warriors fan, you know, you're gonna have to be rich before you have to end up poor before they go to San Francisco. You know, it's pretty funny when you have to see, you know. You know, it's pretty funny when I hear it because I know it's so funny, but you don't get the how the money is, you know. It's just, you know, get it from the money. Get it from the money. Or you can do that on the debit too. Okay, here's another one. What do you call the sack of playbook that uses fast-paced run and gun offense? You got Nellie Balls. Well, I think it's really inappropriate to ask that joke because it's very nasty but very inappropriate. But it's funny when you say Nelly Balls because he's the dude who played like Nelly Ball that he uses from the Don Nelson move for the offensive playbook like that. But it's pretty funny to say that because because the Run TMC sucks balls because they only play as Nelly Balls because that cocksucker plays Nelly Balls. Titty plays Nelly Balls. Mickey plays Nelly Balls. You know why? Titty Mickey Cockers play Nelly Balls. You might get it as a joke because this is so much funny, you know, because Run TMC players just don't have any rhythm because they play like mainstream shooters, you know, so it's like 89, 91. Those players that's just worse. They just don't get it. They missed the one playoff and they've been two playoffs. They were just worse. They're not the great team who makes a playoff run. There is just no playoff appearances from 35 years before Splash Brothers just evolve. You know what I mean? Because when those guys are sacrificed, Splash Brothers are legitimate. They're like special summon players that are ever done. You know what I mean? Because Team Mikakakos are just the summon players. You know what I mean? They're not the great superstars. They're not. You know why? They freaking sucks balls because they only just the summon guys who are not even play even much better what Run TMC and Don Nelson does. Because Don Nelson sucks because he doesn't help them to those guys to give the better defense from Nelly Balls. Nelly Balls is just a defender way that you had to deal with it. If you want to make a deal like that, Steve Kerr has the most very good deals than that Teddy Mikakakis show with Nelly Balls. You know what I mean? Because Steve Kerr made triangle offense because he copied the Lakers type since when Steve Kerr was a better coach back then before they win like those championships like that. You know what I mean? They were better than those Nelly Balls because Steve Kerr made that a bigger improvement. You know, it's a good thing because you don't want to like have Mark Jackson to deal with it, but you just need to have like Steve Kerr to have to do the real job because he does really good at it when he helped the Splash Brothers to gain Millennium for those 3-pointers. You know, he's an awesome dude. You know, he can do what's his best as if he can. You know, and don't trip at all about those brand new San Francisco coaches and the players like Steph Curry does. So think about it. They just come out really good. Okay, here's another one. What is the coach's favorite seafood from the Golden State game? Eric Musselman. It's funny when they used to say like Musselman like this because I have a muscle like that. But Eric Musselman was the only dude who has muscles because that's a seafood that's made out of muscles because people love to cook them, especially for Steph Curry because he would love to eat Eric Musselman because you might get those from the Chokin Steak Worsters pack, but Curry doesn't care what he says because he's a chef. You know what I mean? Because he can do something awesome with it. But Eric Muscles, man, well, that's the only stuff you can get at full Walmart for token steak worse stuff for $10, and then after that you'll have to get Baron pizzas from Davis. That can be the most one you can get better from the to eat for lunch and dinner. And for snacks and breakfast, I don't know. I think you need to get Bob syrup. And for lunch, I don't know. I think you need Jason Cafe for snack. Or lunch, maybe Antoine Jamison before you end up dead. Okay, I think that could be most choking steak versus jokes to think about all the brand of the food that you can eat a day. Like for breakfast would be Bob cereal with all those waffles on it, Antoine Jamisons for lunch or snack with all those Jason Cafes on it. For dinner you'll have to eat all those Eric Musselmans for dinner, so you can eat those food if you're a token steak worsers, and because you guys suck, and especially for lunches for Baron pizzas from Davis, you know what I mean? You might get it as a joke because you have to find all your categories to eat all of those stuffs every day if you're a token steak worsers fan. You know what I mean? Because you have Lunchables! Okay, here's another one. Why did the Golden State players did not get the MVP from the franchise? Because they picked the choking steak worsers from run and gun offensive players. Well, that's because they suck. Because none of them in years all never had MVP. You know why? Because all of the run and gun offense players who do not get the MVP, like Chris Mullen, Rick Barry, Sleepy Floyd, Joe Baby Carroll, Robert Parrish, Dono Foyle, Baron Davis, Monte Ellis, all that. They were just worse. More worse than years to have like bottom feeders. There was more worse that you have those guys that don't have any years, that the choking steak worsers don't have MVPs. If they don't have MVPs, well, get them out of here and send it to San Francisco! Well, they have to because, Steph Curry wanted like a 2-time MVP. Well, that golden boy, he's awesome, He's the greatest shooter of all time, Curry is one of the best shooter watchers of all time, and, he's the MVP candidate at that time, He's pretty much close to winning against Russell Westbrook, and, Steph Curry is the beast, He's the only one in that player who plays really good with the franchise, with Joe Lacob and Peter Gruber and the others, because he's been one and others who play very well, who has MVPs like Paul Arizin, Wilt Chamberlain, and Rick Barry since San Francisco Warriors years, and Philadelphia years. But Steph Curry only have like two MVPs from San Francisco Warriors as also, but because of the fan base between San Francisco and Oakland fans, well, it's okay because Steph Curry, he's pretty awesome and for now on. But if the Warriors are going to San Francisco, Steph Curry would get more MVPs and the Finals MVPs. Well, he won't be the Finals MVP in a few years because, he'll be the great until he wins a championship, and he'll get the most points that he ever done. And it should be awesome how that Steph Curry can do very much awesome, And that's a good thing because when you look how the logos are like really bad before when they moved to Oakland, well, it's just worse because you wouldn't stay to stay in San Francisco to have a San Francisco Warriors for a 15-year deal, because 15-year deal can be really close because San Francisco Dons has the stadium to play, and San Francisco Warriors should have have another requirement to stay there, and well, they should have moved in the first place since they got rejected because of those UCF Mission Bay. It just sucks, They just don't want all the San Francisco NBA team to have it. It sucks, And then They just want the team to move to Oakland. It sucks. They just can't do that. If they do, they're gonna bring one of those token stake worsters who do not win MVPs because they suck. But Steph Curry was the only dude who was the greatest Golden State Warriors players who even better before he became the greatest future star in San Francisco. Because that dude, he can shoot it very well. But the logos they were just good when they got the city with the Indian on. That was pretty good. But mention it or not, but the Golden State Warriors jersey with the California one, it looks really ugly because it's blue and white and yellow. Those are ugly. I didn't hate those jerseys. That just looks ugly. That just doesn't look like the Dodgers color. That doesn't look like one of those good colors what the Rams has it. Or especially with all those the good colors what the Lakers has. That looks ugly. It looks ugly because it's more ugly than the Utah Jazz colors. Especially with all those Denver Nugget colors too. That jersey looks boring when they have those. Especially for those Teeny Mickey Conquer jerseys that usually says Warriors. And that sounds like a boring color without all those with the California on it and the Bear sign on it. Pfft. Oh my god, those jerseys are boring. The most uglier jerseys are retro are the Thunder ones. That ones are ugly. Ugly. Especially with the Thunder one when they have the Thunder ones with the blue and red and yellow. Those colors, they look like the Norteño colors. They look like it because all those hippies just wear that stuff and they just become as Norteños. Come on. Sureños don't represent Golden State Warriors. They represent San Francisco Warriors. Because you know why? San Francisco Warriors, they rep up the 13s because of the Wilt Chamberlain has those jerseys on the sellout since the 60s. You know what I mean? You gotta think about it, especially blue and yellow and white jerseys with the Easter stamp. That's a very good logo because it's a very good state-of-the-art logo what Joe Lacob made, He's a very good guy and he can make something very good jerseys he can. Sooner or later, he's going to make some really good jerseys like the Bay and especially for the Chinese symbols because, people just love all those Chinese symbols because, a lot of San Franciscans have to buy those, That's a good thing because you need to enjoy the Golden State Warriors and the San Francisco Warriors games, because, Chase Center is going to be on the way until the next year, so it's going to be almost done, so don't forget to make a comment, like or subscribe about Eagle Eyes and about the Golden State Warriors jokes, so don't miss another part. It's going to be the last part, so this is Odyssey.